All right. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Griffin.
Here.
Bishop. Conwell. Here. Gray. Hairston. Harsh. House Jones. Jones. Casey. Kelly. Moorer. McCormack. Polensik. Santana. Slife. Spencer. Starr. You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. All right. If everyone could please rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll make the following statement. This meeting of Cleveland City Council is a lawful meeting under Section 605.04 of the Codified Ordinances. No person with purpose to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting shall do any act which obstructs or interferes with the due conduct of such meeting. Members of the public are invited to speak only under the rules set by this council. Disruptions, including but not limited to speaking out of turn and making loud noises and loud utterances, are in violation of the rules and interfere with the due conduct of this lawful meeting. Such disruptions may constitute a misdemeanor and a violation of Section 605.04. Anyone who disrupts this lawful meeting in violation of codified ordinances commits misdemeanors and is subject to prosecution. The following is the first and only warning. If this meeting is disrupted, I will gavel a halt to the proceedings and direct the assembled officers to escort any person participating in the disruption out of the chamber. Once persons participating in the disruption are outside of the chambers, the officers will close the doors and the disruptors will be handled as directed by the Director of Public Safety. The council proceedings will not begin again until those that participated in the disruption have left the chamber and the council doors are closed. Disruptors will not be allowed back in the chamber after the meeting resumes. Again, this is the first and only warning. Madam Clerk, please dispense with the journal.
By Councilmember Kelly, that the reading of the minutes of the last meeting be dispensed with the journal approved. Seconded by Councilmember Santana.
Thank you. Are there any communications?
Yes. File number 907-2025 from Digital C Quarterly Report for second quarter of 2025. File number 908-2025, Oath of Office for Jennifer Chandler, Member, Urban Forestry Commission. File number 909-2025, Oath of Office for Eamon Danielson, Member, Urban Forestry Commission. File number 910-2025, Oath of Office for Laura Marks, Member, Urban Forestry Commission. File number 911-2025, Oath of Office for Tom Schreiber, Member, Urban Forestry Commission. File number 912-2025, Oath of Office for Beck Swab, Member, Urban Forestry Commission. File number 913-2025, Oath of Office for Sarah Tilley, Member, Urban Forestry Commission. File number 914-2025, Oath of Office for Janan Berard, Member, Urban Forestry Commission. File number 915-2025, Oath of Office for Whitney Long Jones, Member, Urban Forestry Commission. File number 916-2025, from Council President Blaine A. Griffin, designating without objection by Council Alan Dreyer to serve as Clerk of Council Pro Tem for all matters requiring the clerk's signature July 14th to the 18th, 2025. File number 917-2025, from State Auditor Keith Faber, State of Ohio, audit and management letter for City of Cleveland, year ending December 31st, 2024. File number 928-2025, from from Council President Blaine Griffin, designating without objection by Council Alan Dreyer to serve as Clerk of Council Pro Tem for all matters requiring the clerk's signature on July 28th, 2025. File number 929-2025, from Director David Margolis, excuse me, Department of Public Health, Notice of grant acceptance from the Preventing Tobacco Addiction Foundation of $50,000 in support of the implementation of the Tobacco Retail License Program in Cleveland. File number 930, 2025, oath of office for Umosin, member, Community Police Commission, City of Cleveland. File number 931, 2025, oath of office for John Laird, interim director, Department of Public Works. File number 932, 2025, oath of office for Alex Nureddin, interim director, Community Police Commission. File number 933, 2025, from Cleveland Foundation, Quarter 2, 2025 report for Neighborhood Safety Fund pursuant to Ordinance 486, 2023, passed May 15, 2023. File number 934, 2025, from Mayor Justin Bibb, City of Cleveland, appointing Dion Alexander to the Tax Incentive Review Council. File number 982, 2025, from Director Callie Mersman, City Planning Commission. Notice of award and acceptance of $15,000 grant from Cleveland Foundation to support West 29th Open Street Initiative. File number 983, 2025, from Dr. Gina Merritt, Principal, Northern Real Estate Urban Ventures. Notice of intent to apply to Ohio Housing Finance Agency for multifamily funding programs for the development known as MLK Plaza Phase 1A at 9300 Way Park Avenue, Ward 7. File number 1049, 2025, from Joyce Skidmore, Development Director, the Annex Group. Notice of intent to apply to Ohio Housing Finance Agency for multifamily funding programs for the development known as Union at Cleveland Harbor at 5475 North Marginal Road, Ward 10. From the Ohio Division of Liquor Control, file number 918, 2025, regarding a new license application at 15515 Waterloo Road, Ward 8. File number 919, 2025, regarding a new license application at 1324 East 40th Street, Ward 10. File number 920, 2025, regarding a new license application at 4189 Ridge Road, Ward 13. File number 921, 2025, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 3624 Scranton Road, Ward 14. File number 922, 2025, regarding a transfer of license application at 12210 Imperial Avenue, Ward 4. File number 923, 2025, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 3908 Dennison Avenue, Ward 14. File number 924, 2025, regarding a new license application at 815 Superior Avenue, Ward 3. File number 925, 2025, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 3879 East 123rd Street, Ward 2. File number 926, 2025, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 3121 Marvin Road, Ward 14. File number 927, 2025, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 6225 Storer Avenue, Ward 14. File number 935, 2025, regarding a new license application at 1580 Euclid Avenue, Ward 3. File number 936, 2025, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 3868 East 131st Street, Ward 2. File number 937, 2025, regarding a new license application at 2258 West 10th Street, Ward 3. File number 938, 2025, regarding a transfer of license application at 1392 West 6th Street, Ward 3. File number 975, 2025, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 1148 Main Avenue, Ward 3. File number 1007, 2025, regarding a transfer of ownership application at 12308 Mayfield Road, Ward 6. File number 1050, 2025, regarding a new license application at 16605 South Miles Road, Ward 1. File number 1051, 2025, regarding a new license application at 12107 St. Clair Avenue, Ward 10.
Thank you. Are there any appointments?
File number 1056, from Council President Blaine Griffin, recommending the appointment of Dion Alexander to the Tax Incentive Review Council pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, Section 5709.85A1. Without objection, the appointment is approved.
All right. Are there any condolence resolutions? Any condolence resolutions? I know we had a couple on the floor. Any condolence resolutions?
We have plenty. Resolutions of condolence by Councilmember Jones for Jimmy Cook, by Councilmember House Jones for Jeffrey Stupiansky, by Councilmember Conwell for Donald Freeman, by Councilmember Starr for Mark Jones, by Councilmember Starr for Cordell Sheffield, by Councilmember Conwell for Margaret Rice Coleman, for all members of council for Officer Philip Corbett Wagner, by Councilmember Conwell for Julius Nichols Jr., by Councilmember Griffin for Michael Graves, by Councilmember Griffin for Quentin Lee Crenshaw, by Councilmember Gray for Jalen Monty Price, by Councilmember Slife for Bridget McIntyre, by Councilmember Starr for Sarah Margaret Love Marshall, by Councilmember Moore for Lynn Rodeman, by Councilmember Polensek for Charles Roscoe, by Councilmember Polensek for Eric Sharp, by Councilmember Polensek for Mikey A. Iliano.
Okay, I did not hear from the mother of Joe Marinucci, which is Severina Delfina Della Marinucci. If we could hold out a number for Severina Delfina Della Marinucci.
So noted.
I also, and I know Councilman Conwell, this is near and dear to him, I did not hear a resolution for Don Freeman.
Yes, it's here.
It was one there?
Yes.
Okay. Could I please be added to both of those resolutions if I could?
So noted.
And I believe we have a couple of council members, Councilman McCormick, Councilman Polensek, would like to be added to the Severina Delfina Della Marinucci resolution.
So noted.
So can you have me and Councilman Conwell be on Mr. Freeman's? And who else? Anybody else?
Polensek, okay.
Councilman Polensek could be added to Mr. Freeman's. All right. Any other condolence resolutions? Seeing no other condolence resolutions, will everyone please rise for a moment of silence? Thank you. Are there any congratulatory resolutions?
Resolutions of congratulations by Councilmember Slife for Raymond Rossborough, by Councilmember Griffin for Brother Orlando O. Grant, by Councilmember Griffin for Forest City Tennis Club, by Councilmember Griffin for Anthony Willard Scott, by Councilmember Griffin for Koyakan Takaria
Yes.
and Brew Grand Opening, by Councilmember Starr for Trinity Cathedral, Charlie Camella Urban Farm on their 20th anniversary, by Councilmember Griffin for Greater Cleveland Association of Black Journalists, National Association of Black Journalists, by Councilmember Griffin for Marty McGann, by Councilmember Slife for Brandon Reed, by Councilmember Griffin for the Gardens of Fairfax Healthcare Center, by Councilmember Kelly for Jack Bialowski Jr., by Councilmember Starr for Kayla Healing Garden Resource Center, by Councilmember Conwell for Garrett Square Apartments, by Councilmember Griffin for James Willis, by Councilmember House Jones for Susan Neff, by Councilmember Griffin for Lucas Funeral Home, by Councilmember Griffin for Dr. Deanna M. Taylor, by resolutions of recognition, by Councilmember Santana for Ricardo Leon, by Councilmember Santana for Officer Eric Melendez, by Councilmember Santana for John Ortiz, by Councilmember Kelly for Keyshawn Hall and Back to School Bash, by Councilmember Slife for the Franciscan Village Annex ribbon cutting, by Councilmember Polensek for Tara Lawana Aaron, by Councilmember Polensek for Michael Leroy Nelson Sr., by Councilmember Polensek for the Early Settlers Association of the Western Reserve.
Thank you. There are no presentations First reading, emergency ordinances referred for administrative review and committee review.
Ordinance 939, 2025 by Councilmember Slife to supplement the codified ordinances by amending Section 511.111 as amended by Ordinance 974-13, as amended by Ordinance 545, 2022, related to penalty for setting out large quantities of waste. Ordinance 950, 2025 by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to apply for and accept a grant from the Ohio Department of Public Safety for fiscal year 2026 impaired driving enforcement program and selective traffic enforcement program. Ordinance 951, 2025 by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to enter into one or more requirement contracts without competitive bidding with Cummins, Inc. for the purchase of proprietary replacement parts for heavy-duty construction equipment and labor and materials to repair and maintain the proprietary equipment for the Department of Port Control for a period of 1 year with 3 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Port Control. Ordinance 952, 2025 by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to enter into one or more requirement contracts without competitive bidding with Murphy Tractor and Equipment for the purchase of proprietary replacement parts for heavy-duty construction equipment and labor and materials to repair and maintain the proprietary equipment for the Department of Port Control. Ordinance 953, 2025 by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to enter into one or more requirement contracts without competitive bidding with Ohio Machinery, DBA Ohio CAT, for the purchase of proprietary replacement parts for heavy-duty construction equipment and labor and materials to repair and maintain the proprietary equipment for the Department of Port Control. Ordinance 954, 2025 by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of repairing or replacing roofs and authorizing the Director of Port Control to enter into one or more public improvement requirement contracts for the making of the improvement for a 1-year period with 3 one-year options to renew. Ordinance 962, 2025 by Councilmembers Santana and Griffin by departmental request to amend Section 171.371 of the codified ordinances relating to payment of costs of attracting certain personnel and to enact new Section 171.372 of the codified ordinances relating to payment of the costs of relocation. Ordinance 963, 2025 by Councilmembers Santana and Griffin by departmental request to supplement the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio by enacting new Section 173.011 relating to the payment of discretionary funds. Ordinance 964, 2025 by Councilmembers Harsh, Bishop, and Griffin by departmental request, giving consent of the City of Cleveland to the Director of Transportation of the State of Ohio for replacing the eastbound I-480 entrance ramp at Ridge Road and to authorize one or more agreements necessary to make the improvement. Ordinance 965, 2025 by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to enter into a lease agreement with a Big Play LLC for the lease of space located at 1501 North Marginal Road for the use and occupancy of space located in the terminal building of Burke Lakefront Airport for the operation of its podcast studio for a period of 1 year with 4 one-year options to renew. Ordinance 966, 2025 by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the purchase and/or rental by one or more requirement contracts of the heavy-duty equipment, snow removal equipment, large capacity trucks, other equipment with operators, and any necessary labor, materials, or equipment needed for snow and ice removal and/or maintenance for the various divisions of the Department of Port Control for a period of 1 year with 3 one-year options to renew. Ordinance 970, 2025 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request to make additional appropriations of $1,800,000 to the Special Revenue Fund. Ordinance 971, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request to provide for the transfer and amendment of $1,800,000 within the general fund. Ordinance 972, 2025, by Councilmembers Conwell and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Health to enter into one or more agreements with the Ohio Department of Health to reimburse the City of Cleveland for monitoring, collecting, and analyzing radiation levels in the vicinity of the Burke Lakefront Airport. Ordinance 976, 2025, by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request to vacate a portion of West 48th Street Southwest and Ravine Court Southwest. Ordinance 977, 2025, by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, Hairston by departmental request to vacate all of relocated Lorraine Court, a portion of West 48th Place, and a portion of Turn Avenue Southwest. Ordinance 978, 2025, by Councilmembers Starr, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request to vacate the remaining portion of Sherman Court. Ordinance 979, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Finance to pay as moral claims the sum opposite the names of the claimants. Ordinance 984, 2025, by Councilmembers Hairston and Griffin by departmental request to amend Section 173.65 of the codified ordinances relating to City Planning Commission. Ordinance 990, 2025, by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Parks and Recreation to apply for and accept a grant from the Cleveland Guardians Charities for the baseball and softball summer youth program. Ordinance 991, 2025, by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Parks and Recreation to apply for and accept a grant from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Forestry for the ODNR State Urban Forestry Resilience Grant to perform young tree training. Ordinance 992, 2025, by Councilmembers Santana and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Human Resources to enter into one or more contracts with Pathfinder Solutions, LLC, to provide support for the city's comprehensive wellness and well-being programs for the Department of Human Resources for a period to run coterminously with the city's current employee health care contracts. Ordinance 996, 2025, by Councilmembers Hairston and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Community Development to enter into an amendment to a contract with Cuyahoga County Land Reutilization Corporation to change certain terms of the agreement. Is this all the same?
Thank you. All right. First reading, emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance, Ordinance 940, 2025, by Councilmember McCormack, to add the name of Jose Ramirez Way as a secondary and honorary name to an unnamed park road beginning about 950 Clark Avenue and ending at Clark Field, the location of the Jose Ramirez Field. Ordinance 941, 2025, by Councilmember McCormack, consenting and approving the issuance of a permit for the Santis in Tremont 1 Mile Run, December 13, 2025, managed by Hermes Sports and Events. Ordinance 942, 2025, by Councilmember Starr, authorizing the Director of Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement with Burton Bell Car Development for the Youth Football Recreation Program through the use of Ward 5 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 959, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request to amend sections 32, 34, 38, and 39 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to compensation for various classifications. Ordinance 960, 2025, by Councilmembers Starr, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request to repeal Ordinance 40, 2025, relating to a ground lease with Rust Belt Riders Composting for the use and occupancy of property located on East 79th Street to consolidate its composting facility operations and to install a retail operation at that location. Ordinance 961, 2025, by council members Starr, Hairston, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Commissioner of Purchases and Supplies to sell city-owned property no longer needed for public use located on East 79th Street to Rust Belt Riders Composting, LLC, or its designee. Ordinance 967, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with the International Longshoremen's Association, Local 1317, for the period April 1, 2025 through March 31st, 2028, and to amend Section 19 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to compensation for various classifications. Ordinance 968, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with the Ohio Nurses Association, Local 85, for the period April 1, 2025 through March 31st, 2028, and to amend Section 24 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to compensation for various classifications. Ordinance 969, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, authorizing the Clerk of Council to enter into an amendment to agreement with NetX Internet, LLC, to increase the dedicated wireless internet service provided to Cleveland City Council. Ordinance 973, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with the International Association of Firefighters, Local 93, from April 1, 2025 through March 31st, 2028, and to amend Section 58 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to compensation for various classifications. Ordinance 974, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, by departmental request, approving two collective bargaining agreements with the Treasurers and Ticket Sellers Union, Local 756, for the periods April 1, 2021 through March 31st, 2025, and April 1, 2025 through March 31st, 2028, respectively, and amending Section 46 of Ordinance 194, 2021, relating to compensation for various classifications. Ordinance 980, 2025, by Council Members McCormack, Bishop, and Hairston, by departmental request, to vacate all of Joy Court and Day Alley. Ordinance 986, 2025, by Council Members McCormack, Bishop, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects or Parks and Recreation, as appropriate, to enter into one or more agreements with the Board of Park Commissioners of the Cleveland Metropolitan Park District or their designee for the development of Irishtown Bend Park and Trail, and authorizing one or more agreements with Metro Parks for a period up to 99 years for the lease, operation, and maintenance of the improvement. Ordinance 987, 2025, by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin, by departmental request, to amend Section 670.14 of the codified ordinances relating to limitation of authority, and to supplement the codified ordinances by enacting new Section 670.20 relating to authority to permit commissioned armed security guards to carry firearms outside the municipal boundaries of the city. Ordinance 988, 2025, by Council Members Hairston and Griffin, by departmental request, to amend Sections 1 and 3 of Ordinance 1071, 2021, relating to approving the addition of certain property to the Northeast Ohio Advanced Energy District and providing for the assessments of the cost of the special energy improvement project in the district. Ordinance 993, 2025, by Council Members Polensek, Bishop, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to enter into one or more agreements with Cuyahoga County and the Board of Park Commissioners of the Cleveland Metropolitan Park District, if necessary, relating to the construction and ongoing maintenance of improvements along the Lake Erie shoreline, known as the Euclid Beach Connector Trail Project, to grant and accept easements and to enter into submerged land leases with the state of Ohio for a term up to 50 years, and authorizing the Director of Public Works, Parks and Recreation or appropriate director to enter into an amendment to the Lakefront Parks lease with the Metro Parks to include the projected area. Ordinance 994, 2025, by Council Members Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to enter into agreement with Deccan International to acquire licenses and maintenance for software to be utilized by the Division of Fire and Emergency Medical Service to improve response times and overall operations by optimizing divisional resources and personnel for a period of 1 year. Ordinance 995, 2025, by Council Members Hairston and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Directors of Building and Housing and/or Innovation and Technology and/or other directors as appropriate to implement a 1-year pilot program to assess the feasibility of using automated technology to create a current property survey, to apply for and accept a grant from the Rocket Community Fund, and to enter into one or more contracts with City Detect, Inc. for the purchase of software as a service, hardware installation, setup, training, and implementation, technical support, and maintenance, including a monthly service fee needed to implement the pilot program. Ordinance 997, 2025, by Councilmember Jones, to add the name Reverend George O. Stewart Way as a secondary and honorary name to DeForest Avenue between Lee Road and East 186th Street. Ordinance 1000, 2025, by Council Members Santana, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Economic Development to enter into a forgivable loan agreement with Metro West Community Development Organization or its designee to provide economic development assistance to partially finance the acquisition and pre-development costs and fees associated with acquiring and stabilizing mixed commercial buildings located through the Ward 14 service area and other associated costs necessary to acquire the property. Ordinance 1001, 2025, by Council Members Conwell and Hairston, authorizing the Director of Department of Economic Development to enter into agreement with the Famicos Foundation for the 1355 East 105th Street redevelopment project through the use of Ward 9 and 10 discretionary revenue funds. Ordinance 1002, 2025, by Councilmember Hairston, authorizing the Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with Famicos Foundation for the 2025 5 Points Senior Meal Program through the use of Ward 10 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 1003, 2025, by Council Members McCormack and Maurer, authorizing the Director of Department of City Planning to enter into agreement with Tremont West Development Corporation for the Tremont, Holmden, Bureau, Rowley, Mentor, Castle, Clark Plan through the use of Wards 3 and 12 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 1004, 2025, by Councilmember Hairston, authorizing the Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with Famicos Foundation for the 2025 Beautification and Litter Program through the use of Ward 10 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 1005, 2025, by Councilmember Jones, authorizing the Director of Department of Community Development to enter into agreement with Famicos Foundation for the public purpose of providing the Community Programming Event Promotion Program through the use of Ward 1 Neighborhood Equity Funds. Ordinance 1006, 2025, by Councilmember Jones, authorizing the Director of Department of Parks and Recreation to enter into agreement with New Point Community Development Corporation for the public purpose of providing the Ohio Elite Seminoles football team through the use of Ward 1 casino revenue funds. Ordinance 1055, 2025, by Council Members Conwell and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Health to apply for and accept a grant from the Ohio Department of Health for the Local Tobacco Prevention and Control Grant, and to enter into one or more contracts with various agencies, entities, or individuals to implement the grant.
All right. Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
by Councilmember Kelly, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Santana.
Thank you. Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Palencic, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 13 yeas.
Thank you. Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Palencic, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. On 9/86/2025, there are 12 yeas, no nays, 1 recusal. On all others, 13 yeas, no nays.
First reading emergency resolutions referred for administrative review and committee review.
Resolution 955-2025 by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request, declaring the intent to vacate all of the unnamed alley south of Abbey Avenue. Resolution 956-2025 by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request, declaring the intent to vacate a portion of West 3rd Street. Resolution 957-2025 by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request, declaring the intent to vacate a portion of West 3rd Street. Resolution 958-2025 by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request, declaring the intent to vacate a portion of West 3rd Street. Resolution 998-2025 by Councilmember Conwell, establishing a working committee of council and the administration to study best practices for preventive maintenance of city infrastructure, equipment, and facilities and existing departmental practices, and consider implementing improvements across various departments.
Thank you. First reading emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 943-2025 by Councilmember Moorer, objecting to the renewal of a D5, D6 liquor permit at 2218 Broadview Road. Resolution 944-2025 by Councilmember Harsh, objecting to the renewal of a D5 liquor permit at 4555 State Road, first floor and basement. Resolution 945-2025 by Councilmember Harsh, objecting to the renewal of a D1, D2, D3, D3A, and D6 liquor permit at 4818-22 Memphis Avenue. Resolution 946-2025 by Councilmember Palencic, objecting to the renewal of a D1, D2, D3, D3A, and D6 liquor permit at 15507 Saranac Road. Resolution 947-2025 by Councilmember Casey, withdrawing objection to the transfer of ownership of a C2, C2X liquor permit at 3892 West 130th Street, and repealing Resolution 82-2025, objecting to said permit. Resolution 948-2025 by Councilmember Casey, withdrawing objection to a transfer of ownership of a C2, C2X, and D6 liquor permit at 4282 West 130th Street, and repealing Resolution 225-2025, objecting to said permit. Resolution 949-2025 by Councilmember McCormack, withdrawing objection to a new C2 liquor permit at 1936 West 25th Street, and repealing Resolution 1319-2024, objecting to said permit. Resolution 981-2025 by Councilmember Harsh, urging the U.S. House of Representatives to adopt bipartisan House Resolution 581, the Epstein Files Transparency Act, that would require the Attorney General to release unclassified files related to the federal investigation of Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and other associates, including government officials. Resolution 985-2025 by Councilmember Griffin, supporting H.R. 4392, the Uterine Fibroid Intervention and Gynecological Health and Treatment Act, reintroduced by United States Congresswoman Shontel Brown. Resolution 989-2025 by Councilmembers Spencer, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, approving the report of the Assessment Equalization Board on objections concerning estimated assessments with respect to the recreation of the Gordon Square Arts District, Cleveland Improvement District, determining to proceed with the plan to provide public services within the district, adopting the assessments, levying the assessments, and authorizing the city to enter into agreement with Gordon Square Arts District, Cleveland Improvement Corporation. Resolution 999, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, appointing 2 members to the Civilian Police Review Board. Resolution 1053, 2025, by Councilmember Hairston, objecting to a new D2, D3, and D6 liquor permit at 1321 East 40th Street. Resolution 1054, 2025, by Councilmember Spencer, withdrawing objection to the renewal of a C2C2X liquor permit at 7310 Lorraine Avenue and repealing Resolution 801, 2024, objecting to said renewal.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Kelly, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Santana.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 13 yeas.
Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 13 yeas.
Thank you. Second reading emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 497, 2025, by Councilmembers Casey and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the purchase by one or more requirement contracts of labor and materials necessary to maintain control systems of the SCADA and PCCS systems for the various divisions of the Department of Public Utilities, and authorizing Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more requirement contracts without competitive bidding with various companies to provide critical proprietary components for the SCADA and PCCS equipment for the Division of Water, Cleveland Public Power, Department of Public Utilities. Ordinance 560, 2025, by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Public Safety to lease certain property located at 7818 Kinsman Road to Vanguards of Cleveland for the purpose to use as a community resource center and a minority public safety museum for a term of 30 years with 2 30-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Public Safety. Ordinance 603, 2025, by Councilmembers Hairston and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Community Development to transfer permanent parcel numbers 121, 22, 003, 004, and 005 located along Opportunity Corridor at the intersection of Woodhill and Quincy to the control, possession, and use of the Department of Economic Development Industrial Commercial Land Bank for future redevelopment. Ordinance 633, 2025, as amended, by Council Members Conwell, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request to amend sections 203.01, 02, and 05 of the codified ordinances as amended by various ordinances, and to supplement the codified ordinances by enacting new sections 203.11, all relating to nuisance abatement. Ordinance 667, 2025, by Council Members Bishop and Hairston by departmental request, authorizing the Directors of Parks and Recreation, Public Works, Community Development, and Public Safety to execute various deeds of easement and various temporary deeds of easement, granting to the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District certain easement rights and property located within various city-owned properties, and declaring the easement rights not needed for the city's public use. Ordinance 679, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the issuance and sale of water pollution control revenue obligations to refund outstanding water pollution control revenue obligations, authorizing agreements related to obligations, authorizing a tender and/or exchange program with respect to the refunding of water pollution control revenue obligations, and providing for the appointment of professionals and authorizing documents with respect thereto, and authorizing and approving related matters. Ordinance 770, 7/17/2025 by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to issue a permit to Weston CMG JV LLC to encroach into the public right-of-way of East Prospect Avenue by installing and maintaining 48.5 by 46 Record Rendezvous, Ohio historical marker that is mounted on a pole with a foundation. Ordinance 723/2025, as amended by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, determining the method of making the public improvement of designing, installing, and constructing various energy conservative measures at the city's Division of Police District facilities, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to enter into one or more guaranteed energy-saving performance contracts for a guaranteed maximum price with Lepardo Energy, LLC, for the making of the improvement, authorizing the Director of Public Works to enter into one or more maintenance agreements for the improvements, authorizing the Director of Finance to enter into one or more installment payment contracts and loan contracts to finance the improvements, and authorizing other documents. Ordinance 725/2025 by Council Members Bishop and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Works to enter into agreement with Cleveland Browns Stadium LLC to reimburse the Cleveland Browns for the emergency repairs made to Huntington Bank Field performed by the Cleveland Browns Stadium Company LLC. Ordinance 786/2025 by Councilmember McCormack, authorizing the Director of Department of Parks and Recreation to enter into a grant agreement with Ohio City Incorporated to provide program support for the Near West Recreation Youth Programs. Ordinance 798/2025 as amended by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request to amend Section 571.061 of the codified ordinances relating to secured area identification badges issued by the Director of Port Control. Ordinance 799/2025 by Councilmembers Hairston and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing Director of Economic Development to enter into an agreement with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, or its designee, to assist with the costs related to outreach, assistance, and administration of the UBiz microloan program and assistance, training, and planning for small businesses through the Entrepreneurship Center for the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Ordinance 800/2025 by Councilmembers Hairston and Griffin by departmental request to amend Section 1 of Ordinance 1167/2024 relating to a contract with Santec Consulting Services to provide professional services for on-call planning services. Ordinance 801/2025 by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin by departmental request to amend Section 171.37 of the codified ordinances relating to reimbursement of tuition for employee education. Ordinance 802/2025 by Councilmembers McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to enter into an amendment to a contract with J.D. Power to provide additional survey services and extend the contract. Ordinance 805/2025 by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to enter into one or more requirement contracts without competitive bidding with Bound Tree Medical for the proprietary Curaplex hazmat kits for the Division of Emergency Medical Service, Department of Public Safety, for a term of 1 year with 2 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Public Safety, and to repeal Ordinance 941/2024 relating to a requirement contract for hazmat. Ordinance 806/2025 by Councilmembers Polensek and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to donate a former police vehicle to the Cleveland Police Museum and to enter into an agreement to make the donation. Ordinance 809/2025 by Councilmembers Griffin, Bishop, and Hairston by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to issue a permit to Cleveland Clinic Foundation to encroach into, over, and under the public right-of-way of East 96th Street by installing, using, and maintaining a canopy, footers, and columns. Ordinance 810, 2025, by Council Members Starr, Bishop, and Hairston, by departmental request, authorizing Director of Capital Projects to issue one or more permits to Greater Cleveland Regional Transit Authority to encroach into the public right-of-way of East 79th Street. Ordinance 811, 2025, by Council Members Bishop and Griffin, by departmental request, to amend Section 1 of Ordinance 718, 2024, relating to the purchase, lease, or lease with option to purchase of various on-road vehicles, apparatus, and off-road equipment, cabs, bodies, and accessories, equipment, and other aftermarket items for the various divisions of city government. Ordinance 812, 2025, by Council Members Polensek and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Safety to enter into an amendment to a contract with Cuyahoga County for the County Sheriff's Department relating to housing and providing services for city prisoners to increase their per diem rate and to amend other provisions regarding the booking and charging of city prisoners. Ordinance 813, 2025, by Council Members McCormack and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing Director of Port Control to amend a lease with Markin Cami, LLC, for the lease of space located at Burke Lakefront Airport for the operation of podcast studios and a software company. Ordinance 814, 2025, by Council Members McCormack, Bishop, and Hairston, by departmental request, giving consent of the City of Cleveland to the Director of Transportation of the State of Ohio to replace the Lorraine Avenue Bridge over Columbus Road and authorizing agreements. Ordinance 815, 2025, by Councilmember Griffin, by departmental request, to provide for the transfer and amendment of $242,804 within the general fund. Ordinance 816, 2025, by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Directors of Parks and Recreation and Finance to enter into one or more contracts with the Cleveland Metropolitan School District to conduct recreational, cultural, extracurricular programs for the benefit of school children during the 2024-25 school year. Ordinance 817, 2025, by Councilmembers Bishop and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing Director of Parks and Recreation to enter into agreement with Neighborhood Leadership Institute to implement educational, recreational, and cultural programs in various school buildings and other facilities during evening hours, provide leadership training, and supervise the summer tennis program. Ordinance 818, 2025, by Councilmember Hairston, by departmental request, designating Greater New Calvary Baptist Church as a Cleveland landmark. Ordinance 819, 2025, by Councilmembers Conwell, Hairston, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing Director of Economic Development to enter into a forgivable loan agreement with Famicos Foundation or its designee to provide economic development assistance to partially finance the acquisition and development of interior and exterior improvements at a mixed-use building located at 1355 East 105th Street and other associated costs necessary to redevelop the property. Ordinance 843, 2025, by Councilmembers Conwell and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Health to apply for and accept a grant from the United States Department of Homeland Security for the BioWatch program, and authorizing the Director to enter into various written standard purchase and requirement contracts for courier services needed to transport BioWatch samples for the Ohio Department of Health for testing. Ordinance 844, 2025, by Councilmembers McCormack, Bishop, Hairston, and Griffin, by departmental request, to vacate a portion of Hancock Avenue. Ordinance 859, 2025, by Councilmember Hairston, designating East 90th Street between St. Clair Avenue and East 91st Street with a secondary and honorary designation of Ruby Mumford Way.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Kelly, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Santana.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 13 yeas.
Thank you. Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. On 7/25/2025, 12 yeas, 1 nay. On 8/12/2025, so that's 11 yeas, 2 nays. On 8/12/2025, 12 yeas, 1 nay. On all others, 13 yeas, no nays.
All right, second reading, ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 726/2025 as amended by Mayor Bibb to amend sections 35201, 13, 401, 34, 457.01, 04, 09, 457, 12, and 99 of the codified ordinances as amended by various ordinances, to supplement the codified ordinances by enacting new section 457.991 and to repeal section 457.05 as enacted by ordinance 1684-76, all relating to public garages and parking lots. Ordinance 860/2025 as amended by Councilmember Slife, changing the use, area, and height districts of parcels of land north and south of Lorraine Avenue, west of Rocky River Drive.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Kelly, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Santana.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 13 yeas.
Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 13 yeas.
All right, thank you. We'll move into introductions, and the first introduction that I'd like to make is Eric Betts and Heather Garay from Leopardo Energy. If they both could please stand up. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. This is the group that has the unenviable task of trying to repair our police department stations, and I know that it was a rigorous debate at the table today, and I want to commend you for staying for this meeting because, as you can see, a lot of people get their legislation and then they're out of here. So the fact that you stayed here to see it through means a lot to Cleveland City Council, and thank you so much. We're looking forward to being partners with you in this process. Thank you. All right, any other introductions? Any other introductions? Seeing no other introductions, are there any announcements? Any announcements? I'd encourage any and all to attend the Feast of the Assumption. The Mass is this upcoming Friday in Little Italy, and then directly after the Mass, there's a procession. All are welcome. I know me and the Dean always usually attend, but I'd encourage anybody who wants to attend. People come from all over the city and all over the region to attend. Any other announcements? Any other announcements? Seeing no other announcements, is there any miscellaneous? Any miscellaneous? No miscellaneous. Madam Clerk, please excuse the absences. You got 3. It should be 3.
Hold up.
Hold on, we got to excuse the absences.
Okay, yep. By Councilmember Kelly, that the absence of council members House Jones, Jones, and Starr are hereby excused. Seconded by Councilmember Santana.
Council is adjourned to the call of the chair. The next meeting of council will be on Monday, September the 15th, 2025.
The end of it.